fabulous Austroflamm and Rica owners out there. How you doing? We're doing great here in Texas. Weather's been a little bit crazy, but it's been keeping people cold. So we've been very busy on selling parts and helping many of you out there with issues that you're having. Little clip here in order to show y'all how adjusting the air on the user control board. So this is a lazy flame. Do you see how it's just wisping and it's got black smoke off of it? It doesn't have like that rocket jet like, look on the ends of the tips of the flame. It's just wanders all over. This is bad. This creates a lot of creosote and it also reduces the amount of heat that comes out of your stove because it's a cooler burn. What I've done here is I have set this stove with a horrible pellet, and I will show you how adjusting the air on the top of the board, you will see the adjustment dial that should be sitting at 12 o'clock. And you'll see that it's an X, and if you take a micro screwdriver and then turn it all the way to the right and then turn it all the way to the left, and then you'll set it at the 12 o'clock mark. And that's the starting point that you want. I will show you how adjusting the air will help it to burn hotter and cleaner. Okay, in this situation, horrible pellets. High moisture content and a lot of byproducts, a lot of sawdust. All of those things add up to that right there. Here's your user control board, right? For all you that have seen my videos, your potentiometer, your toggle on off switch, your fuse, and that little hole right there with a micro screwdriver, a little Phillips, you can put it in there and you can turn it and you can adjust the auger speed. Now in this situation right here with this lazy burn, what we want to do is we want to turn it around, okay? And right here, that's your air setting, okay? And it should be set at 12 o'clock. If it's not, that means that somebody got back there and just got all risky with it, you know what I'm saying? So start out at 12 o'clock. This is 12 o'clock, and that is the horrible burn that we're getting, okay? So turn it back here again. So if you take the micro screwdriver and you turn the dial, as I just turned it to the 1 o'clock position. Now turning this dial very, very small increments goes a long way, okay? And you really want to, you can do what you want, but this is what we do, is I do it in small increments in order to fine tune the stove. And by doing this, what it's doing is it's speeding up the RPMs on the combustion motor, and it's drawing in more air into the stove, feeding the coal bed in the burn pot in order to produce higher BTUs. More air feeding that coal bed's gonna make it burn hotter and cleaner. Okay, now it does take literally up to 3 to 5 minutes. I've had individuals say, hey, I had it react within a couple of minutes. Well, okay, so let's just go ahead and say 2 to 5 minutes. But what it does is it measures the air coming in to the fresh air inlet on the back of the stove, bypassing the air sensor, okay? And the air sensor is reading the speed of air, the density of the air, the temperature of the air, the humidity of the air, and a partridge in a pear tree. And what it does then is it tells the motherboard, okay, this is what we need to do in order to get this stove to burn accordingly. Okay? Accordingly mean efficiently. 1 o'clock is what I have this set at right there. Now I want to show you the difference just at the 1 o'clock setting, so I'm going to set the board down. Okay. Now, do you see how it has begun to change the flame? See how it's a little more intense? It's not so wispy. It's not, you know, the flames aren't just... And most importantly, you don't have that much black smoke coming off the top. Now, when you got a poor contaminated pellet, like, you know, you've seen probably one of my last videos that talks about how pellet bags, a lot of individuals feel as though that the pellet bags, because they're plastic, right, and they've got a nice heat seal on them, that they shouldn't be able to allow moisture into the bag. That's not true. I'll go ahead and put up here the video. The video is was made really fast because we have major ice storms, snowstorms, record-breaking conditions right now in the U.S. that a lot of people are having a lot of problems. So I whipped it up really quick, didn't do much editing. You know, it's mainly I'm talking and I'm just showing all of the pellet bags for the whole time. So, you know, you can be knitting or mama can be just making dinner in the kitchen or whatever and just turn on the audio, and that's the best way to do it. There is some writing in there that I put in for a little information, but you know, don't expect too much out of that video. Just go with the information. But now I'm gonna move this away because my camera is going to overheat because this thing is pumping out the heat. Okay, now you can see how it looks right now. You can see the difference that it made. Now I'm going to turn it up to 3 o'clock and show you the difference. Okay, so I think you guys can still see me over there, kinda. So I'm gonna drop it down so you can see me. And I am going to adjust it. Okay, I just adjusted it to 3 o'clock. All right? So let's watch the flame here as it adjusts itself. Remember, it takes 2 to 5 minutes for it to, you know, talk to itself and make all the changes and so forth. And every time that I turn that clockwise, what it's doing is it's increasing the air intake to the burn pot. And in turn, what it's doing is it's also increasing the RPM of the convection fan to adjust for the additional heat from the air being drawn in, burning hotter. So hey, we got to remove that heat off of the body of the stove, so the convection fan will turn up and you'll end up getting more heat out of your stove, which I just put a video out. I think it's in the queue, and it's called Turn Up the Heat. And what it does is it shows you Rika owners out there, and it's got a video that, matter of fact, this probably, I don't know, I might add this in because this is really a good shot in order for people to understand. But now you see how it's changing? You see how that flame is starting to look rocket jet style. I'm talking, that's beautiful. That looks hot. It's burning clean. It's putting more heat into the body of the stove, and the convection fan here is really starting to turn it up. Sorry about that. I'm trying to adjust it here so y'all get a better look. Okay. Now, look. See how all that extra air going in there? Okay. That right there is at the point right now to where I have to watch it, because we don't want our flames disappearing down into the burn pot, which means that there's too much air, it's consuming the pellets too fast, and your stove's going to have a harder time keeping up. So you can keep this higher temperature going, okay, burning hotter with more air from the combustion fan with the RPMs jacked up. Now what you have is, this is the opportunity to where you can reach through here and you can turn up the auger. So I just blindly, because I'm sitting here off to the side, turned up the auger. So now what's going to happen is the auger's going to start dumping more pellets. You're going to hear the auger speed up. You're going to see the light beginning to flash a little bit quicker than what it was previously. And now you have more air going into the burn pot. It's burning hotter, but there wasn't enough fuel to be fed to the burn pot to keep itself lit. So by turning up the auger, now we're adding more fuel with the hotter temperature. And it sounds like I'm being repetitive here, but I really want y'all to understand what I'm getting at. Is fine-tuning your stove is all about sitting here, watching how it burns, and you always want to crank it up. See this? I've got it cranked up on high. Okay, I'll try to edit it to where you can see it. But always turn your stove up on high, because that right there is pretty much going to show you the most fuel being dumped in, and then you're going to want to make sure that your air is set to where it burns hotter and cleaner. Now, if the flames get too high, I'm talking just engulf the firebox, that's where you're going to want to go back. You're going to want to kind of turn that air down, turn your auger back down a little bit, because you don't want the flames just ripping up into the top of the firebox, going over the back firewall. Because if you have a lot of creosote and so forth in there, one, it can be a fire hazard, as in it can ignite a dirty stove. So you really want to make sure that if you start messing around with the combustion air and the auger speed, make sure you don't have a stove loaded with creosote, because you might end up finding that you're going to have sparks and flames shooting out the top of your chimney, or if you have a horizontal chimney that just shooting straight out the wall, or out the wall and then up. How many ever feet? You know, I can't list every, you know, combination, but chimney fires isn't a fun thing to deal with. All right. So as you can see, we started out with the lazy flame. Okay. Now what we have is we have turned up the air. We've got rid of the lazy flame, and we've added more fuel. Now your situation could be completely different, and it might not, you know, look exactly like this, because you might be burning a premium high quality pellet, and it's going to react differently. That's why fine tuning is all about first setting the air, making sure that at 12 o'clock it looks like it's really, you know, a nice beautiful flame. See how that is? That's a good looking flame right there. And that's with those contaminated pellets. Okay, so I hope you all understand a little bit more about how to adjust the auger and the air, okay, in order to fine tune and make that flame look beautiful. Plus, the better looking the flame, the more BTUs, and I'm telling you, this is so hot that with my gloves on, it's almost burning me. So that right there is what you all want out there, especially when it's, you know, 20 below up in Pennsylvania and New York, and you all want as much heat as you can, because your insulation and your good sense manufactured homes in your apartment buildings and your big, luxurious, beautiful homes, you know what? You need a beautiful stove like this. Now, as you can see here, remember, there is no exact science to pellets. For you out there that might have a little ADHD like I do, and you know, you feel a little anxious and you just want to get her done, and you just got to move and you got to groove and you got to make sure that this stove is working, you know what I'm saying? Don't sit and watch the flame and go, it went down, turn it up, it went up, turn it down. Okay, you have to have patience when you fine-tune the stove. Watch the pretty flame, and then you'll figure out if you need to make any adjustments. Like right now, I just want to turn it up. No, don't do it. Just make sure that you have your stove set on high. Make sure that you adjust your air and your auger speed accordingly. Remember, set your air first. If you have any questions, email us, please, at offgridstoves@gmail.com. I've probably taken care of 60 to 70 emails in the last 2 days. And I'm actually looking a little flushed and peaked because we've been working until 9, 10 o'clock at night trying to help y'all and keep your homes warm, especially with the dangerous temperatures that are out there. So again, any parts, please, unless you really know what's going on, let me help you troubleshoot it. If you got it figured out, if you really have it figured out, a lot of damage going on right now, you can go to austroflammparts.com or rigaparts.com and you can go ahead and order your parts. Remember, we're the only parts distributor that literally unboxes the parts, tests them, making sure that the voltage and the operation and they're all purdy like, right? And then we make sure that the packaging, you might even see that when you receive the brand new part, it's got like bulletproof packaging around it. Well, that's because we're having so many problems with USPS and FedEx. There's a couple of UPS, but we really push for UPS because they make sure that our stuff gets there safely. But the other two I just mentioned, nope. We've got a very, very expensive package that still is lost from USPS. They won't reimburse us because they keep saying, we're gonna find it. Okay? Find it already. So, you guys stay safe out there. Remember, don't hesitate to ask any questions by email and ask me for my assistance because that's what I do. Peace.